Welcome back, everyone. This is it, man. When you're looking at the news and you're saying, Trump, what? How's this? What's going on now? Hold your horses, folks. This is a big one. And this is one that I have to make sure the XRP family, the Ethereum family, the Bitcoin family knows what's going on. So I'm here to teach today. I am teaching about the big changes that the politicians in DC have done, and this is a big one in terms of what happened. And you'll hear it talked about in the news and everything else about all the major things. But the timeline on this one, this is one of them positive catalysts. It's going to take a lot longer than people realize, but it is a tremendous one in terms of what's going to happen in terms of the money that is in 401ks. That's right. We're dealing with that one as well as some other things. We're going to look at the charts for XRP. I hear people panicking out there when they look at some of the candles. Folks, wait till you see what I got for you in this video. Yeah, it's a good one. Now, for those who haven't done it, take advantage of that first link down there. We got the webinar, and the webinar is live. We open up spots for today. You're all set to go. Get in here, pick the one that works for you. Learn the 4-step framework that I have rolled out for everyone. It's about an hour-long webinar, but it does go over the 4-step framework. It teaches you how to learn the technicals from a national champion coach. That's me. Get in there. And teacher, of course, and take advantage of this. This is a great thing. If you're serious about investing, you have to up your education, and this will help. Now, let's get into what I wanted to talk about. We brought up, boom, you'll see things like this. Sends Ethereum, XRP, Dogecoin flying. What happens? And it was President Trump's executive order allowing cryptocurrencies and 401k retirement accounts injected fresh confidence into digital assets, leading to bullish technical setups. And that's what I want to talk about, a little bit about these bullish setups. I want you guys to see it. And potential sustained uptrends in Ethereum, XRP, and Dogecoin. So I want to talk a little bit about this because this was big. He just signed an executive order that brings new investment options to your 401ks and what it means for your money and everything else. So when he came out and he spoke and he said, I want to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. A lot of people took this just for, what talk. Hey, we're in an election, they're campaigning, they're saying everything they have to say. And the one thing you're seeing is that they're taking concrete steps to actually make that happen. With the SEC and a lot of other changes out there, old Uncle Paulie Atkins down there doing his thing. And they dropped both, Ripple and the SEC dropped that appeal. And there's been other things happening as well, which I'm going to do a video. My next video will touch on that for XRP, which was massive in terms of what they're going to be able to do moving forward. There's a lot of things happening that people do not realize. But you have the Genius Act. That's signed into law. You got the Clarity Act, which I believe it's going to be massive for that. Once that's signed in the law, the differences between securities, commodities, all of it and more, this is going to be big. And so everything you're seeing is working towards it. But what really, really, gets a price moving in the right direction for those who, the Lambo Now crowd. And I can see you guys smiling. That's right, Mo. I'm not a Lambo Now guy. I'm a GT 500 guy. There you go. And that's what I'm looking for. But financial freedom, that's what we want, right? Financial freedom. We always joke about what we'd want. And you guys can let me know in the comments down below. What would you do if you hit that big 7-figure mark in your portfolios? What's the big thing you're looking for? Financial freedom, to help others out? I don't even know, So I always dream of a little piece of water somewhere where I can go kick my feet up, feed some fish, maybe fish a little bit, and just enjoy the rest of my life. And of course, investments can help me get there. And that's what I'm trying to do, and teaching people so they can take that step towards financial freedom as well. That's a big thing that this channel is about. So if you appreciate that, hit the like button. Let's get this one over 1,000 likes. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Take advantage of what we have here with the webinar as well. Now, we were talking, and I wanted people to realize how long this is going to be. how long it's going to take. So you hear about this whole thing with the 401ks and everybody's excited about it, right? But it's not something just because he signs an executive order that, hey, tomorrow we can all go into our 401ks and guess what we can do, right? You can get in there and just buy tons of crypto. That's not how it works. And so the Department of Labor gets involved and they have to review and all the changes get in and it rolls out to the companies, and there's tons and tons and tons of just the legislation, not the legislation, but everything that goes into it. And, you know, all the guidelines that are issued, and then companies file the guidelines and then the products. And so this is not something that is a few weeks. It's probably not even a few months. To be blunt, it's probably a year to 3 years altogether to get everybody involved, on board, and get this so everybody can take advantage of it. But keep this in mind. When it does roll out and you open up probably, I don't even know how much money in 401ks, it has to be trillions of dollars in that kind of retirement vehicle. Think about those trillions of dollars that are now able to just allocate some of it to crypto, even a little bit. What do you think happens to the price of crypto when you unleash that kind of demand? And maybe it's not overnight, maybe it's a steady flow, but it should lead to a very good outcome for those who are hoping for it to go higher. Now, like I said, there's no guarantee. I'm just teaching you the effects of supply and demand here. You free up that much demand, and that opens the floodgates. Wow is all I can say. You are going to see some crazy, crazy things for certain cryptos. I think personally, it'll come down to maybe 3 to 5. Obviously, Bitcoin, Ethereum seems to be the talk for everything. I would argue XRP will be in that conversation. I call them the big three, the three horsemen. And I believe that they will be kind of tied together as we go forward in terms of these decisions that are made. And then they will slowly probably roll out additional cryptos that can be added in there. And as that guidance, and like I said, the Department of Labor, all that is involved, there should be some good things. So I wanted to make sure everybody understood that, and that's down the road. Right now, short term for XRP, what do you got? You got the spot ETFs that are being considered by the SEC. Most likely, I believe they'll be okayed in October, November. You got the staking for Ethereum that I believe will be okayed before year's end as well. And that's big for the ETFs that they can allow. And yes, BlackRock did put in for that one. And so that kind of gives me a heads up of where we're going with that. It's just timing for everything, and we'll see. But when we get into the charts for the day, I know a lot of you are watching this. Wow, everybody, I hear people panicking to me. Boy, you could tell, I can tell in the comments, guys, you know, it's hilarious to me. 99% of the people are so positive, up or down. You're just positive people. And when you have XRP up there rolling up, big green candles on the daily, everybody's happy. You don't hear, I can go through my comments and I won't have, you know, maybe out of 1,000 comments, you'll have 1 or 2 negative people. And it's over something stupid, right? And then when I get to a day where you have 3 red days in a row like we have right here, all of a sudden people start getting a little bit, some of the trolls start getting a little antsy. And they think they can, their voices are going to get a little bit louder. Oh, XRP, it's da-da-da-da-da-da. And I always think to myself, let's go back. Let's just go back in time just a few weeks / months. We were 50 cents, folks. And we're all the way up 6 times that. And people are yelling and screaming, XRP, XRP. And then just a couple of weeks ago, we were at $2.80 something right here. What was that, $1.90? And I think, wow, you know, even when you go up 60, 70%, people will still complain. So I think, and I'm not sure about this, the people are complaining because look where we're at. Even right here, if I told you, say 6 to 8 weeks ago, we're going to be in the 3s when we were down here in the 2s, you'd be happy. When we get up there, man, there's some complainers. Now, here's the good news. I told you we got overbought. And when we got overbought, and that's fine, now we come back down. What happens is you have a big pump, you come down, and normally you want to pump up, but we have things that happen right here to push us to the 50, and that's okay. We got the RSI back down. We start to roll back up. Massive candle. What did I tell you when we have a massive candle? Expect it to come back down, maybe hit between the 5 and the 13, which we just did. Everything I told you has been happening has happened. I am not concerned in the least. Bollinger Band tightening up. I'm going to watch it between the 5 and the 13. Normally, you'll see a test off the 13, and I call that trampoline. If that confirms below the 13, then you are going to the 50. But notice that the low is a new higher low. And that's what I would expect if we fail to 13. Personally, I feel like we're going to hold the 13, but we will see. Just because I want it to happen doesn't make it happen. You know, if it's like, hey, 60% of the time we hold the 13, 40% we don't. Just because I want it to be the 60%, obviously 4 out of 10 times will come down to the 50. And that's okay. Like I said, you get different events along the way, and you always hear, hey, you got a new low, a new higher low, a new higher low. And that's just part of the whole roller coaster of the pricing of different assets, be it stocks, be it crypto, whatever. You'll see a lot of them same patterns in there. And that's what I wanted to make sure you see this on the daily. I don't have any problem with this. It was a massive push. So you're seeing a little bit of profit taking. Then I think we'll have the next leg up and retest. Once we cross, I'll put it bluntly, once you cross above this line right here, for a closing candle again, I do believe you're going to new highs. And so I will put my prediction out there. So right here, I'll put it bluntly. So once we cross, because my technicals have been pure fire. I'll argue some of the sharpest you have had out here on YouTube. Once you cross and we bounce and we have a closing candle above this line right here, 332. And I said this before, 333 or above, we will go to new highs. And that's what I believe firmly. And so I am looking at possible plays in my Discord. And for those not in my Discord, get over there. That is the second link down below. Once you're in here, use code LEARN. LEARN is available. You just got to hit the earner tier. It should be automatic, but if it's not, code LEARN. LEARN saves you 50% off that first month. It is a huge opportunity, 15% off an annual membership. Take advantage of it. Now, as I continue, I want to show you something. Let me show you a chart that looks really good. So you look at this one, and I just showed you what I showed you, right? So remember, we had that massive about 3 weeks ago. Boom, pushed all the way up. Look what happens. Oh, we came all the way down, Mo. Oh, Mo, we pushed down and came back a little bit. And now this week, look what happened right here. We actually bounced off, and this is a pattern I've seen a million times, where we bounce off that we go between the 5 and the 13, as I just showed you for the daily chart. And then we bounce back above the 5, which is massive. So what do we want to push? There it is, that 332. So you want a weekly closing candle above that 332. You should feel real good. We should be able to retest those near-term highs, which I told you I believe we're going to go above. The Bollinger Band's opening up. I like it. The RSI is 62 on the weekly. This is a good-looking chart. I'd rather have this chart than that same thing underneath going down for the bears. And that's what we don't want to see. So I hope this taught some people how to read the charts a little bit better. This, and like I said, everything I do is for education, trying to help people. So I don't want to just give you a fish. I want you to be able to learn how to fish yourself. Now for people, where are you doing your crypto at, Mo? I'm over at Kraken. You can take advantage of this. You can turn this into XRP, whatever you want. But I do have my third link down below for that. And like I said, the webinar is live. You got to take advantage of this. The 4-step framework is phenomenal in teaching people how to learn the technicals. So you guys can, that's that first link. And the second link down below, of course, is over to the Discord. Code LEARN to take advantage of that. 36 learning lessons, all kinds of good stuff. All right, folks, that's it. I appreciate you stopping by. I will see you in the Discord.